Hi, and welcome to We Have So Much to Say podcast. And today I'm going to be talking about sleepovers for children, young teenagers. I'm very much against sleepovers, and I would like to warn you of the dangers of sleepovers for your children. When I was growing up, my parents didn't allow sleepovers. I'm gonna tell you in another video, another audio piece about something that could have nearly happened to me as a result of a sleepover, and my parents were right. But my dad specifically, my mum wasn't so strict about it. My dad specifically did not allow sleepovers, and I used to get so angry and so upset and so frustrated. Why can't I go and do sleepovers? All my friends are doing sleepovers. It's not fair. I had a sleepover. There was a slumber party one time with a friend of mine from school, and everyone was going, and I felt like I was the odd one out because I was allowed to go to the party itself, which was, all the dancing and everything. But at the end, my dad came to pick me up, and everybody was really shocked. They were like, "Why is your dad coming to pick you up? Why can't you sleep over?" And my dad was like, and then I said to them, "I'm not allowed to do sleepovers," and everybody was laughing at me. It was like I was a black sheep, literally. Like, you're such a weirdo. Why would your dad not allow you to go to a sleepover? And I just said that it's just not allowed. It's something that I'm not allowed to do. And people were confused, and even I was upset about it. I felt like I'd been, my parents were victimizing me and not allowing me to live my life and enjoy myself. But I tell you what, it was the biggest blessing that my parents didn't allow me to have sleepovers. I'm going to tell you of something that happened to a young man that was a student at my school, my high school. He was head boy. He was popular. He was in all the, top, sports teams and all of that. He was very intelligent. He came from a very decent family, one of these families where all the kids become successful no matter what. They've just got this air of success. Even if they don't do well in school, they find a way to just get lucky and, achieve massive things. And this boy had been getting basically abused by the father of his best friend for years. It had been going on since they were in year 7, all the way up until year 11. And it all came out. The interesting thing is, I'm not 100% sure how it came out, but all I know is that the tea was spilled, and the sad thing about the situation was that the parents of the boy really trusted the parents of his best friend, and so every weekend he would go and sleep over. They would go to do football practice on a Friday, and then they would, he would always go back to his friend's house, and every time he was there, he was being abused by this man. And it turned out that he was also abusing his own child, who was of the same age, for many, many years. And the sad thing about it is that this man had a wife. The wife was a teacher at our school. The wife was a very, very, very respectable woman. And it was quite shocking and disturbing that this was going on. The funny thing is, well, not funny, but the interesting thing about it is that the man was actually a priest. But he wasn't a Catholic priest. In the Catholic religion, you can't get married or have kids or anything like that when you are a priest. But I believe in the Anglican religion, you can get married. So I think he was an Anglican priest. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that he was a priest. And he got, he got convicted, but it was a big case at that time. And I remember telling my parents about it, and they were like, "You see, that's the reason why we don't do sleepovers. That's why we don't allow sleepovers." And it just kind of, it made me realize that they were doing the right thing. And sometimes you've also got to even be thinking about your family members as well. And when you have sleepovers at your cousins' houses, and they've got the mum and dad and all of that there. The truth of the matter is that family members can still take advantage of you, whether it be an older cousin, whether it be an an uncle, whether it be even an auntie. It can happen. And so the best thing for you to do as a parent is to never let your child go and sleep anywhere. Let them sleep in their own beds, no matter how disturbing it must be for them, because they're not getting the same treatment as other kids. Tough. These are what I recommend. And I if you have children now and they're of an age where they want to go to sleepovers, just say no. Just say no. You don't have to explain to anybody why. You don't have to tell the parents, oh, why am I not allowed to do this and why am I not? Just no. The scary thing is that this stuff is also going on in schools as well. Older kids are taking advantage of younger kids as well. When I was in high school, there was a man who used to come and pick up one of the boys from school every single day, and I always assumed that it was his father. They were white, he had brown hair, the boy had brown hair. I always assumed it was his father. So I remember one day I mentioned the boy's name. I said, oh, I think, your dad's been outside for the past hour, because we were in our final lesson and the man was outside. He was just there, standing there. So I said, oh, I think your dad's been outside for the past hour waiting for you. And he said, that's not my dad. And so I remember asking, so who is he then? He was like, he's just a mate of mine. And I was like, a mate? And he said, yeah, it's just a mate of mine. So I was like, okay. It was weird. And later on down the line, it turned out that this man was a family friend who he had been going to have sleepovers with. He's got a wife and child as well. And he's been abusing him for years. And it also turned out that this man had killed another young boy and buried him at the back of our school. Not right at the back of our school, but there was a field it was like a huge field that was at the back of the school, but it was way, way, way deeper into that field that child had been buried. So sleepovers are a big no. I don't know what you think about sleepovers, but I would recommend you do not let your children sleep over nowhere.